3 weeks ago, I have to admit, I think that's the first time that I've ever been nervous about talking in front of people. And that's saying something, because I've been doing that for a really long time. But I was very honored to be asked to do this, so see how it goes. A couple Saturdays ago, my mom and I watched a movie, and it was entitled Love Comes Softly. And in this movie, a young woman named Marty Claridge was moving out west with her husband, but after a tragedy struck and her husband passed away unexpectedly. So she was left all by herself until another man by the name of Clark Davis came and offered her to live with him and to care for his daughter Missy. But life out there wasn't very easy. It seemed to always be going wrong. There always was a problem. And finally, it just got too much to bear. The Davis' barn caught fire and burned down, burning everything that Marty owned. And she started questioning Clark's faith in God, which was something that she really didn't have. I just don't understand why the God you pray to would let unthinkable things happen to decent people. But Clark responded, "Missy could fall down and hurt herself, even if I'm walking right beside her. That doesn't mean I allowed it to happen. She knows, as far as unconditional love, that I'll pick her up and I'll carry her. I'll try to heal her. I cry when she cries. I'll rejoice when she is well. In all the moments of my life, God has been right there beside me. The truth of God's love is not that He allows bad things to happen. It's His promise that He'll be there with us when they do." Recently, Hurricane Sandy swept the northeastern United States. It knocked out power, it destroyed people's homes, and in unexpected cases, people lost their friends, their family members, and other people who they loved dearly. In these people's times of trouble, the best way to get over the pain is through prayer. But some of these people thought if they prayed for their family's safety, that God wasn't answering their prayers, and they wondered why. David felt the same way on multiple occasions, and in the book of Psalms, he writes, "My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? So far from the words of my groaning? My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer, by night, and am not silent. Why, O Lord, do you stand far away? Why do you hide yourselves in times of trouble?" God doesn't like seeing His children in pain. He is not a God that sets out intentionally to throw obstacles in our way. He does not intend to harm us. And He loves us. Instead, in a way, He's testing us. He's testing our strength and our trust in Him, that He'll be able to guide us through the times that seem hardest. In John 9, verses 1 through 5, Jesus tells the story of His disciples. He went along and he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," said Jesus, "but this happened so that the work of God might be displayed through him. As long as it is day, we must do the work of Him who sent me. When I am in the world, I am the light of the world." So despite this man's misery, despite the fact that he had been blind for such a long time, his life was worth everything, because he was doing everything to worship God and show that people around him that despite this tough time, he still had God's love, and he trusted in Him, and that's what mattered. But sometimes we do ask why. Why do bad things happen to good people? We might say, why is God punishing me? Why does He let these things happen? But God has perfect timing. Never early, never late. It may take a little patience and a lot of faith, but in the end, it's always worth the wait. Ecclesiastes 8:6 reads, There is a proper time and procedure for every matter. Casting Crowns is a song called Praise You in the Storm. And the chorus goes, I will praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands. You are who you are, no matter where I am, and every tear I cry, you hold in your hands. You've never left my side, and though my heart is torn, I will praise you in this storm. That song has spoke a lot to me over the years. And despite the times of trouble, we're supposed to tell God. And we can ask Him, why is this happening? Why do these things happen in my life? Why am I suffering? But after we do that, we have to trust Him. We have to put every ounce of trust that we have in God, that He will guide us through the times that are the hardest. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. That's Romans 8:1-8. The trials and tribulations happening right now in our lives, whether it's losing a family member that we care about, or losing a job, or even something as simple as getting a bad grade on a test, those are nothing compared to the ultimate reward that we receive as Christians. And that's living in eternal, everlasting life with God in heaven. That's the best gift that we could ever receive. And compared to that, everything else seems so trivial. But we wait a long time to reach heaven, don't we? That's worth the wait. And they say in order to get to the easy things in life, you have to get over the hardest things first. In order to get through the best things in life, you have to get through the worst. So if heaven's the best thing we can receive, then why shouldn't we trust God to get us there? I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Marty Claridge didn't understand why all those things happened to her, why she had to lose the most important thing in her life. But in the end, she found something better. The victims of Hurricane Sandy don't understand why all those things happened to them, but it'll all amount to something greater, and the hard times will pass. You don't understand why things happen in your life, and neither do I. But one thing I know for sure is that God understands. He knows we are continually faced with these obstacles because in His time, something better will come from them. He has a plan for each and every one of us. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Do we have the strength to make it through these tough times? Do we trust Him enough to provide for us? And realize that all of these things are happening for a reason, and they're all in accordance with His perfect plan for our lives. Because He does not allow bad things to happen. It's His promise that He'll be there for us when they do happen. What if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights is all it takes to know you're near? And what if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise.